Hello everyone and welcome to the quants solution for the CAT exam. And without further ado, let us begin with the solutions with question number 1. Those um, rare questions where trigonometry is directly being used. Otherwise, within geometry questions, the trigonometry is used a little indirectly. We have triangle ABC, altitudes are AD and BC, and angle BAC is 45 degrees. ठीक है, तो यहाँ दोनों 90 बना दिए, 45 degrees आ गया. Now AD upon BE चाहिए, so I would like to take those angles that contain AD as well as BE. So let me take this angle as theta. Sin theta ले लेते हैं पहले. Sin theta, theta के सामने वाली side हो जाएगा perpendicular and of course hypotenuse will be AB. So sin theta turns out to be AD upon AB. ठीक है, now we'll use that 45 for BE, so we'll take sin 45. Sin 45 will become सामने वाला side perpendicular BE opposite AB, BE upon AB. ठीक है, and sin 45 is of course 1 upon root 2. AB को equate कर देते हैं, so AB is equal to first equation से AD upon sin theta and second equation से AB is equal to BE root 2. So therefore आपका AD upon BE turns out to be root 2 sin theta. The answer is A part. Not a very difficult question for sure, but well, exam में दिमाग चला तो चला. That's question number 1. And work question, working alone, the times taken by Anu, Tanu, Manu are in the ratio 5:8:10. We know that to do a particular work, time is inversely proportional to rate. Ratio of time is 5:8:10. So rate उल्टा हो जाएगा, 1/5:1/8:1/10 हो जाएगा. ठीक है. Now let us multiply this by the LCM of 5, 8, 10, that's 40. Multiply by 40, you get 40 upon 5 is 8, 40 upon 8 is 5, and 40 upon 10 is 4. ये हो गया ratio of the efficiencies or the rates, and that's what I wanted. Ratio के साथ K लगा देंगे. I'll now use these values for my solving. They accept a job which they can finish in 4 days if they all work together 8 hours a day. So 8 hours a day काम किया, टुगेदर काम किया, सो दैट मीन्स पर आवर ये लोग कितना काम कर रहे हैं, 8 + 5 + 4 17K. So they are working for 8 hours, 17K units per hour for a total of 4 days. तब जाके काम हो गया. ठीक है. However, if Anu and Tanu work together for the first 6 days, so पहले 6 दिन Anu Tanu is the first two values, that's 8 + 5 13K. Working 6 hours 40 minutes per day. 6 hours 40 minutes हो जाएगा. 6 2/3 6 2/3 is 20 upon 3 hours काम किया, तो into 20 upon 3. Plus there is some remaining work. Who did the remaining work? Manu. Manu did the remaining work in how many hours? Manu का efficiency is 4K. Hours ले लो H, K cancel हो जाएगा. पहले 4 cancel करते हैं. 4 से गया 5 times and 4 is gone. 3 से गया 2 times, K cancel किया. Now we solve. This is 136 is equal to 130 plus H. So H का value 6 आ गया. 6 is the right answer for question number 2. Question from geometry related to regular polygons have sides in the ratio 1:2. So let the number of sides be n and 2n. उनके इंटीरियर एंगल्स आर इन द रेशियो 3:4. इंटीरियर एंगल का फॉर्मूला होता है n-2 into 180 divided by n. That is the value of each interior angle if n is the number of sides. If 2n is the number of sides, तो n की जगह 2n रख देंगे upon 2n, and the ratio of the interior angles is given as 3/4. Solve for n. That's all. 180 cancel, n cancel. यहाँ नीचे क्या बचा ये देखो, नीचे बचा 2n minus 2 upon 2 which becomes n minus 1. ठीक है. So नीचे n minus 1 लिख देंगे, क्रॉस मल्टीप्लाई 4n minus 8 is 3n minus 1. So therefore आपका n का वैल्यू 5 हो जाएगा. n is equal to 5. Number of sides of B which is 2n becomes 10. So 10 is the right answer for question number 3. From algebra you have A and B are non-negative real numbers such that A plus 2B is equal to 6. Non-negative रखना है. ठीक है. Average of maximum and minimum values of A plus B. So maximum and minimum चाहिए. Non-negative numbers हैं. for a plus b. So we'll try one of these as 0. b को 0 रखो, a turns out to be 6 and a plus b is 6. b को 1 रखो, 6 minus 2 4, a turns out to be 4 and a plus b becomes 5. So we are observing that जैसे ही a का वैल्यू 6 से छोटा होने लगा, a plus b छोटा होने लग गया. So I go to the smallest value of a, that is 0. So b will turn out to be 6 upon 2, that is 3. तो a plus b आपका 3 आ जाएगा. So a plus b का maximum value becomes 6 and minimum value becomes 3. So now the average of maximum and minimum becomes 6 plus 3 ka average, which is 4.5. Answer is B part for question number 4. Very normal kind of maths question or an equations question. Instead of making lengthy, cumbersome equations, we'll just do it via common sense. Manu earns 4,000 per month. He wants to save an average of 550 per month. ठीक है? 4,000 minus 550 means it allows for expenses of 3,450. But in the first 9 months, 9 mahine, his monthly expense was 3,500 rupees. And he foresees that 10th month onwards expenses और बढ़ जाएंगे. So let us see अभी तक what does this imply. उसका income for the first 9 months expenses, income is 4,000, expenses is 3,500, savings are 500 per month, but उसको 550 चाहिए. 500 है, 550 चाहिए, means 50 rupees per month उसको चाहिए for 9 months. So there's a total shortfall of 50 into 9, that's rupees 450. And from the 10th month onwards, income is 4,000, expenditure is 3,700, savings are 300 but 550 चाहिए. It's a shortfall of 250 rupees for a period of 3 months. That's 750 rupees. So overall अगर आप साल भर का देखो, there is a shortfall of 1,200 rupees, and this 1,200 rupees has to be met or covered in the last 3 months, because it says that in order to meet his yearly savings target, his monthly earnings from 10th month should be 10th month, 10th, 11th, 12th, last 3 months. So 1,200 rupees ka shortfall has to be covered over the last 3 months. That becomes your extra 1,200 upon 3, that's 400 rupees per month extra kamana padega. So 4,000 plus 400. The answer is 4,400 rupees per month. B part is the right answer for question number 5. This is a question on mixtures. So you have 2 containers of the same volume. First container has half sugar syrup and the second container is half filled with milk. Half of the contents of the first container go to the second, and then half of the second container goes to the first, and then half of first goes to second, and then half of second goes to first. Ratio of sugar to milk in the second container is, let's take 2 containers, दोनों में sugar और milk लगा देते हैं. It's only half filled, doesn't matter half हो या full हो. Sure half है, volume ले लेते हैं, sugar का 100, there's no milk. Second container milk का 100 and there's no sugar. ठीक है. Now the process begins. Let's take out half of the mixture. आधा निकाला, फिर आधा बचा, 50 is left. 50 sugar goes to the second container, milk stays the same. Now at this point, either you can do it manually to observe that sugar to milk is in the ratio 50 is to 100, that's 1 is to 2, and 50 plus 100, 150 में से हम आधा निकालने वाले, 75 निकालने वाले. So either you can do this part manually or you can just realize that आधा निकाल देना है, that means आधा sugar निकल जाएगा, आधा milk निकल जाएगा. 75 in the ratio 1 is to 2 is 25 and 50. So of sugar and milk. So sugar आधा निकालो, 50 में से 25, you're left with 25. Milk 100 में से 50 निकाल दिया, you're left with 50. So this is exactly what I just told you, that आधा निकाल दिया तो आधा बच गया, just values को half कर दो. And put this back into the first container. Sugar 50 plus 25 is 75, milk 100 plus 50 is 50. ठीक है. Now again ये सारा manual part, 75 is to 50 is 3 is to 2. You don't need to do all this stuff. You can just proceed directly for the second container. ये सारा कुछ का ज़रूरत नहीं है, manually करना है तो कर लो. 125 का half is 62.5 divided in the ratio 3:2, you'll get 37.5 and 25. But what I'm saying is just आधा कर दो. 75 का आधा is 37.5, 50 का आधा is 25. Both of these go to the second container. 37.5 plus 25 इधर आ गया एंड 50 प्लस 25 इधर आ गया. सेकेंड कंटेनर में से अब आधा निकालना है, सो वैल्यूज़ आपकी हाफ हो जाएंगी. 62.5 का हाफ इज़ 31.25, 75 का हाफ इज़ 37.5. शुगर इज़ टू मिल्क का फाइनल रेशियो निकालना है. कैलकुलेट द फाइनल रेशियो, रिमूव द डेसिमल. 25 से गया 125 and 150 and फिर 25 से गया. 5:6 is the right answer for question number 6, A part. Tough, lengthy question, but if you got the trick, you were fine. Question connected to series, and series के अंदर we just read the question that on day 1 there are 100 particles. On day n, where n is greater than or equal to 2, 1 out of every n particles produces another particle, right? So for example, on day 2, 1 out of every 2 particles will produce another particle. 1 out of every 2 means plus half, right? So for example, day 1 pe when you had 100 particles, then on day 2, 1 out of every 2 यानी कि you will add half of the values because उतने particles और आ चुके हैं. So 50 add करेंगे, you will get 150. Then on day 3, 1 out of every 3 particles, so you will add 1/3, and 1/3 is again 50, so 150 plus 50 becomes 200. And then on day 4, you'll add 1/4. 200 ka 1/4 is again 50, and you get 250 particles. So I noticed that on every day 50 new particles have been added. What a beautiful question. Comprehension था थोड़ा सा maths and patterns था. So every day 50 particles are being added. If the total particles increases to 100 on day m, find m. So dot 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 every day plus 50 होना है every time until you reach 1000. 100, 150, 200 up till the last term being 1000. Use the formula for an AP. 1000 is the nth term, is equal to 100 plus m minus 1 into d, d being 50. से आपने m का वैल्यू निकाला 919 आ जाएगा m का वैल्यू. That means that on day 19 you will touch the value of 1000. So 19 is the right answer for question 7. Excuse me. Question from averages. You have the average of a non-decreasing sequence of n numbers to be 300. So non-decreasing matlab all the values can be equal and the sequence could be increasing. Non-decreasing नहीं है, नहीं तो constant होगा या तो increasing होगा. So a1 will be less than equal to a2, less than equal to up till an, and that's your sequence of numbers, and the sum of terms will be nx bar, right? And number of terms into average value, n into 300. So 300n is equal to sum of values a1, a2, a3 up till an. Now a1 is replaced by 6a1, so the average becomes 400. So 300 हो जाएगा 400, a1 की जगह 6a1. Subtract 100n becomes equal to 6 minus 1, 5a1, बाकी सब कुछ cancel हो जाएगा. And then इससे a1 आ जाएगा 20n. 20n is equal to a1. Find the number of possible values of a1. The possible values of a1, which is equal to 20n, depends on n. How many values can n take? So let me say I have n, sum of terms and the first term, and what are the terms of the sequence. मान लो n 1 है, तो sum of terms हो जाएगा 300 into 1, that is 300. First term हो जाएगा 20. So how can there be one term 20 and sum of terms 300 हो जाए? That is not possible. But as soon as you now have two terms, sum becomes 600, 300 into 2. Terms, first term is 20n, 20 into 2, that's 40. So your terms can be 40 and 560. Similarly, if you have three terms, sum 900 हो जाएगा. First term will become 60 and your terms can be 60, 60 and 780. ठीक है, तो ऐसे करते करते we are realizing that n की अब आगे वाली वैल्यूज़ कुछ भी हो सकती हैं, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, राइट? But we realize that the average of the terms is 300. If the average is 300, then the first term cannot be more than 300. अगर आपका average 300 है and your first term becomes more than 300, then your average becomes less than the first term, and that is not possible. ठीक है? So 300 अगर मुझे बनाना है, so 300 is equal to 20n, that means n will be 15. 300 हो जाएगा, 15 टर्म्स 300 की, so the terms will be 300 into 15, the terms will be 300, 300, 300, 300 and so on. So therefore the number of terms can be from 2 to 15, that is 14 terms. 14 is the right answer for question 8, and this was definitely a challenging question. Question on quadratics. You have R and C be real numbers. R and minus R are the roots of this cubic polynomial. So let the third root be alpha, R minus R and alpha. So let us write down the sum of roots. R and plus minus R plus alpha will be minus b upon a, that will be minus c upon 5. ठीक है, इससे अल्फ़ा आ जाएगा माइनस सी अपॉन 5. आई नीड सी का वैल्यू, सी के लिए अल्फ़ा चाहिए. नाउ लेट अस टेक सम ऑफ रूट्स 2 एट अ टाइम. सो आर अल्फ़ा and minus r alpha, and then r and minus r becomes minus r square. 2 at a time becomes c upon a, that's minus 10 upon 5. r ये r alpha cancel, so r square is equal to 2. ये तो बहुत बढ़िया हो गया. If r square is 2, that means r is plus minus root 2. So let's take one of the values. root 2 को लेके वैल्यू डालते हैं. 5x क्यूब, लेट्स टेक x as root 2, so x क्यूब हो जाएगा 2 root 2. 5 into 2 root 2 प्लस c into 2, x square 2 हो जाएगा, r square 2 हो जाएगा, माइनस 10 into root 2 plus 9. Excellent. So आपका 10 root 2 cancel हो गया and c is equal to minus 9 upon 2. The answer is A part for question number 9. Question number 10, which is on functions, and it definitely looks very, very scary, and in an exam it would be even more intimidating. You have two functions f and g. F of x plus f of x minus 1 is equal to 0, and g of x is just the square of the function x square. And if f of x square minus x is 5, so I'm going to use this to find out f of x. g of x तो मिला हुआ है, f of x ढूंढना है. So I'll put x equal to 0. Oh, okay, let me put x equal to 1 सबसे पहले. 1 डालूंगा तो 1 minus 1 0 हो जाएगा. So f of 0 becomes 5. ठीक है, so f of 0 directly मिल गया. Now I'll find f of 1 by substituting over here. X को 1 डालेंगे, so f of 1 plus f of 0, which I already have. f of 1 plus f of 0, which is 5, minus 1 is equal to 0. यानी कि f of 1 turns out to be 1 minus 5, that is minus 4. अब मुझे f of 2 निकालना है. Let me put x equal to 2 over here. So 2 square, 4 minus 2, 2 आ जाएगा. So now f of 2 directly turns out to be 5. ठीक है. Now I want to find out f of 3. So for that, let me substitute x equal to 2 over here only. So f of 2, let me substitute x equal to 3 over here, because मुझे f of 3 चाहिए. f of 2 तो मिल चुका. So f of 3 plus f of 2, which is 5, minus 1 is equal to 0. So 5 minus 1, 4. तो आपका 5 minus 1, 0. So f of 3 turns out to be minus 4. ठीक है, एक और ट्राई कर लेते हैं. f of 4 ट्राई करते हैं. So let's substitute x equal to 4 over here. f of 4 plus f of 3 हो जाएगा. f of 4 plus f of 3, which is minus 1 is equal to 0. That means f of 4 is 5. At this point I have a pattern now. ठीक है, f of 4 is 5. ये देखो, f of 0 is 5, f of 1 is minus 4, f of 2 is 5, f of 3 is minus 4, f of 4 is 5. So all the even arguments पे 5 है, odd arguments पे minus 4 है आपका f of x. f of x at even argument, what is the pattern? 5 minus 4, 5 minus 4, like that. Now we are almost done. So now I need to find out f of g of 5. g of 5 25 हो जाएगा, right? g of 5 is 5 square, 25. So f of 25, which is the even term, turns out to be minus 4. and then we need g of f of 5, and f of 5 is of course the odd term, that's minus 4. So you get g of minus 4, which is 16. So your answer becomes 16 minus 4, because you have to just add 12 is the right answer for question number 10. This is a standard percentages question. There were 4 candidates, 80% cast their votes. So let's take total 100x, 80% means 80x. One of the candidates received 30% of the votes, 80x का 30%, 10% is 8x, 30% is 24x. बाकी बचा 56x. The other 3 candidates के बीच में votes divide करने in the ratio 1:2:3. 56x in the ratio 1:2:3. So for example, total there are 6 parts. Third candidate को 3 parts मिलने, that means half, 3/6. That is half. ठीक है. If the winner gets 2512 more than second highest, अब winner कौन है, second highest कौन है, need to calculate. So 3 parts becomes 28x आधा, and then now let's calculate what will the middle person get. 2 parts out of 6. 2/6, that's 1/3 of 56x, that's turns out to be 18/2/3x. Baki bacha 9/1/3x. So now I can see who got highest, that's 28x, who got second highest, that's 24x, which is 4x. Ka difference is 2512. Find the number of registered voters. 100x चाहिए, 25 से multiply करेंगे on both sides, you get 62,800. D part is the right answer for question 11.